Hello there, General Techno here with yet another video review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at some of the Dark of the Moon toys, a few of which I managed to pick up early because certain stores didn't bother to actually check their street dates. Anyway, this is a look at Sergeant Chaos along with Ice Pick. Now, Ice Pick here turns into a snowmobile, as you can see. And from what my understanding is, it's actually meant in the bio to be the same Ice Pick who was in Power Core Combiners, which is a kind of interesting tidbit. His snowmobile mode is, well, it's pretty good here. It's also got some clip points up here, the 3mm mount points for his guns, which can be removed and mounted on the back right here. I've noticed that they don't stay on all that easily, though. It's probably just due to how the actual weapons were constructed here and the way the mounting point is. Anyway, Sergeant Chaos is his little human minion here, or pilot, or hostage, or whatever you want to believe. He's allied with the Decepticons. As you can see, his faction symbol is right on his chest there. It's hard to bring out, but there it is. He's got a pretty good sculpt. I can't recognize anything that was an existing Human Alliance figure. He can ride pretty easily. He's got most of the posability that the past Human Alliance has had. And one thing that the Human Alliance figures do on the new Dark of the Moon ones, which is really nice, is they don't have waist articulation, unfortunately. But what they did add in was wrist articulation. So here we have Sergeant Chaos riding Ice Pick. And he's got these two weapons up here, which almost seems like a design flaw, quite frankly. And leads me to wonder if the guy's actually just a hostage, given that it's designed to shoot him in the back. Now, one of the neat gimmicks that these new Human Alliance figures have is they've all got a third weapon mode, which can be wielded by other figures in most cases. In Ice Pick's case, he has a third mode, which turns into a very cool weapon that's appropriate for a snowmobile-themed character. What you do is you bring this out over here, and snap it into place. And here you have, ta-da, suddenly he turns into a chainsaw, which is quite frankly a really, really cool weapon mode. You can also remove the little 3mm clip weapons up here and mount them on 3mm clip rungs up here at the tip of the chainsaw. But overall, as far as MechTech weapons go, it's a chainsaw. You can't really go wrong with a chainsaw. Ice Pick's transformation from weapon mode to robot mode is again fairly straightforward, and as you can see, the legs fold out as well as the arms from the back, and the snowmobile treads go and form a bit of a backpack here. Now, the head reveal, of course, is a very straightforward one, with you just pressing up on the back here, and that's one thing I've noticed, that the ball joint tends to be a bit loose. But here you have it, Ice Pick in robot mode. In robot mode, Ice Pick is, suffice to say, pretty darn badass. His general aesthetic and head sculpt really make him look a lot like a hybrid between a Quarian and a Geth from the Mass Effect games. In fact, if we go and take a close-up at his head sculpt here, if you take a look, it reminds me a lot of Tali's head from Mass Effect, just the way it's got the little windshield going down the back here, and just the general visor on the head. So really, it's a pretty darn awesome design here. He can also use his 3mm clip weapons still. They can clip onto the handlebars right down here, like the figure was doing originally on the back. They can also clip onto the shoulders up here, which were the handlebars. And I guess you can also clip them onto the sides right here, like I was alluding to in weapon mode. Now, Sergeant Chaos next to him, as you can see, it's a pretty decent height, and I don't think there's any real way for the Human Alliance humans to ride the robots in robot mode. And as far as posability goes, it's pretty fair. Ball-jointed elbows, shoulders, upper legs. He's got knees, double-jointed, and he's got feet which can have adjustable ankles right here. The backpack can also be adjusted a bit, too, if you don't really like the backpack layout. You could clip these together, for instance, or you could probably turn them around and make it into a bit more of a cape sort of thing. So really, the sky's the limit on what you can do with figure posability-wise. It's a pretty nice Human Alliance figure overall. In conclusion, Icepick is a very good example of how to do the new Human Alliance price point properly. He's a very cool figure overall, has a fairly solid chainsaw mode, a pretty good vehicle mode, and a really neat Mass Effect-ish robot mode, and further has his little human as well, his Sergeant Chaos, which is a pretty awesome name even still. If you want an example of how to do the new Human Alliance price point properly, Icepick is a very good example, and I would recommend that people who are interested in just seeing what these new figures are like consider picking up Icepick and, well, mech-checking him onto a larger figure so that he can go saw up some smaller bots. Overall, in conclusion, I would have to say that Icepick, as far as my scale goes, he's going to have to merit an awesome for the fact that he has gethiness, and he's a snowmobile who turns into a friggin' chainsaw. This is General Techno signing off.